What's going on, everybody? This is Joe, and I am back for another Dominaria United pre-release pack opening. We have done one solo of these previously, and then one where I did four, and I should say we did four in one video at the pre-release itself. Why am I not able to open this today? There we go. So if you missed either of those, I encourage you to check them out. They will be on the channel for you to watch and enjoy. Some very interesting stuff so far. So there is that. I'm going to leave that stuff over on the side. We have the green D20 inside of this one. Are you able to see that? Oh wow, the symbol is like a little faded. The like white paint on the inside there is not either not applied all the way or like thinner. I'm sure you guys can see that. I can see it on the camera too. Very interesting. Well, anyway, it goes over here with the one that I already have that was done properly, I guess. Not misprinted. Anyway, it's fine. We have all the stuff here, so we'll keep track of that. In fact, you know what? Why not? Just dress up the set a little bit more, right? We have, for those unfamiliar, we have the code for MTG Arena that we will be giving away at some random point in the video, so stay tuned for that. We have the insert that goes in between, or could go in between your deck and your sideboard. Obviously, we have the packs that will go there. And we have the, speaking of inserts, right? We have the little paper here that talks to you about how to build a pre-release deck, as well as the little lore insert here. So last time, we read about Ajani and Joda. This time, let's read about Danitha and Karn, shall we? So we have Danitha Capuchin here on the left. Brave Benalish Knight and daughter of Benalia's highest house. Her fight against the Phyrexians is now personal. And the reference to that is because of the fact that her father Iran was turned into a Phyrexian. We might see him today. He is one of the uncommon legends in the set. And we know about it because we read about it in the story, which we have reviewed here on this channel. So please feel free to check that out, where we do our Jar series reviewing the Magic stories. We have reviewed every story that has come out from Battle for Zendikar until now that was released online. Then the story for Karn, we have Silver Golem, Planeswalker, and Magical Artificer will stop at nothing to destroy the Phyrexians he accidentally unleashed. So there you go. Stay tuned next time where we will read about Teferi or Jaya. And let's start this opening with our promo foil rare, which is the Defiler of Instinct. This is a Phyrexian Kavu, and my god, could this art be any darker for this foil? Holy crap. The background looks decent, but like everything over here is just nothing at all. So weird. I mean, this is a very good card, by the way, if that was any a question to anyone. So, you know, I feel like red is the color that I'm most often like not playing unless I'm an aggro deck. To be fair, this is a 4-mana 4/4 first striker, so I could put that in an aggro deck. I would put that in an aggro deck. So something to consider. I have a Writhing Necromass to start, a Voda Sea Scavenger, Benalish Faithbonder, Bark Weave Crusher, Coalition Warbrute, I like this one as well. Battlefly Swarm is a great card. Radiant Grove as our first land. These are going to be very important to keep track of. If we want to do Domain, if we want to do 3 colors or more, very important to keep track of these lands. We have a Soaring Drake, a Salvaged Mana Worker, a Phyrexian Warhorse. Shalai's Acolyte is our first uncommon. Not a bad card at all. Cut Down, also decent. Decent removal, not amazing removal, but still. And a Tori Diavinant Fury Rider. So, I mean, I talked about aggro. This is one of the cards that you want for the aggro deck. Goes very well with our Defiler of Instinct. Very, very well. And so, our next rare or mythic is a Haughty Djinn. Or as some people would say, a Haughty Djinn. And he does seem like a hottie. This wants to go in a very different deck than the Defiler or Tori does. So we'll have to keep an eye out for what else we get. Obviously, this cares about instants and sorceries, which we might incidentally have in an aggro deck, but this is not the card that you want in an aggro deck for sure. Behind the Haughty Djinn, no foil, we have an island and a soldier token. You know what? I'm doing it early this time. This is a code for MTG Arena. You can get 6 packs, I believe, with this code. Please be aware that if you have already used a code from a pre-release kit for Dominaria United, this code will not work for you. So don't bother. Don't waste your time. But if this code does work for you, please feel free to shout it out in the comments down below. We would love to know that it did work for you. We would love to congratulate you, and it helps your fellow viewers to know that the code has already been taken. This is a small way for us to say thank you to all of you for watching our stuff. If you missed this code and you still would like one, we are doing 2 more openings of pre-release packs on this channel, so stay tuned for those, because you will be able to, if you subscribe and ring that bell, you get notifications as soon as that video comes out next time, so that you can make sure that you are here as soon as possible to get the code and be able to use it for yourself. We want to make sure that our regular viewers get a chance to get these from us in some capacity. So thank you for watching all of our stuff. Please don't forget, we have other channels as well, linked down in the description box below, Video Games for All and Gluten Free for All, and we are live every Monday and Friday on this channel at 8 p.m. Eastern, and we would love to have you join us. So we start with a Barkweave Crusher, a Coalition Warbrute, another Battlefly Swarm, another Coalition Warbrute as well, a Timely Interference, a Juniper Order Rootweaver, a Death Bloom Gardener, an Essence Scatter, a Contaminated Aquifer, again, good to keep track of these lands, an Automatic Librarian, a Flowstone Infusion, Cult Conscript is our first uncommon, Fires of Victory is the second, so again, this would want to go into the Haughty Djinn deck, not into the Defiler of Instinct deck necessarily, and a Territorial Marrow. This card is very good, mainly if you are reliably playing 3 or more basic land types. So that means that our next rare or mythic is a Myria Scholar of Antiquity in the alt art. This cares about artifacts, and not for nothing, I'm a little annoyed or a little tired of opening so many. We have 1 alt art foil, pack foil, we have 1 non-alt art pack foil, and now we have another alt art. Like I said, it's kind of annoying having opened so many because they're like non-existent for limited, basically. But it's pretty, I guess. Behind Myria, no foil, a swamp, and an ad card. It's been a while since we've seen an ad card. No complaints from me on that. Because if you're unaware, I went on a rant a little while ago. Not a little while. It's been like at least 3 sets. But I went on a rant about ad cards and how annoyed I was by them. But I think they've fixed it. So props to you, Wizards. Thanks for fixing the problem. We have a Myria's Outrider, a Toxic Abomination, an Impulse, Take Up the Shield, gorgeous art, I love you, Johnny, a Floriferous Vine Wall, Molten Tributary, good to keep track of that, Crystal Grotto. This is not necessarily the type of land that you want, but if you're desperate, I guess you could put it in for fixing purposes. We have, or I guess, filtering purposes is the word I was looking for there. A Phyrexian Vivisector, another land in the Geothermal Bog, very nice. A Sprouting Goblin is our first uncommon. A Blight Pile is the second. This is also a very good card for the Defenders deck. We've seen the Floriferous Vine Wall and stuff like that already too. And a Balmor, Battle Mage Captain. I mean, this one with the Haughty Djinn. We already have the Molten Tributary. If we want to go part black, we also have Geothermal Bog and Contaminated Aquifer. It's not bad. It's not bad. I won't lie to you. And so our next rare or mythic is the Elder Dragon War. This one is not bad. It sure does make a dragon at minimum. But you could also deal 2 damage to each creature and each opponent. So some of your creatures may die, but many of theirs hopefully will. This is pretty sweet. So I'll definitely keep that available to us. And behind it, I think we do have a foil this time. We do, and it's a foil red card. It is A foil Fires of Victory. Holy crap. That's 3 Fires of Victory. I mean, if we have enough card draw, like, we very well may be in the spells deck at this point. I won't lie to you. That's pretty cool. And how does the foiling pattern look? Because there's actual fire in this art, and usually that means a good thing, or that means it's a good thing in foil, but I guess because it's only down here, it's not as impressive, right? The background looks cool, like up here behind their heads. It's a very small part of the art to be excited about, but still. Behind it, a gorgeous Plains and a Stang Twin token. Hell yeah. Very cool. Token, legendary creature, human warrior. Now, notably, this is for the commander set, which I find very odd that, yeah, I find that odd, that, like, I can open tokens for commander in my main set release. It's, like, not, okay. Anyway, if you have opinions, as always, I want to know in the comments down below. We have a Timely Interference, Juniper Order Rootweaver, a Death Bloom Gardener, Molten Monstrosity, Extinguish the Light, very good card. A Pixie Illusionist, a Haunted Mire for our land, or one of our lands. We have a Meteorite, a Tolarian Geyser, very good card. Don't need the white kicker, so I would definitely still put this in blue-red spells. A Shield Wall Sentinel, Cleaving Skyrider is our first uncommon. Not a bad card. We haven't really seen a ton of stuff pulling us towards white, although this is a pretty cool card. A Join Forces, again, this card is fine and definitely not a card that we're like, oh my god, now we have to be in white. And a Tatiova, Steward of Tides. If we're looking at blue-red spells, this is not the one that we want. This is a gorgeous showcase art for Tatiova, by the way, if people were curious or unaware. And that means that our next rare or mythic is a Rundvelt Hordemaster. This card is not great for limited. We have tried, and it doesn't work. If we got super lucky and opened like every goblin in the set, or like multiples of the goblins, then maybe. But yeah, this is not a limited card, basically. Behind it, we have a gorgeous Swamp. Way to go, Miguel Villeneuve. Super amazing. God, it's so good. And, god damn it. And a Goblin token. Really? Gotta make me look like a jerk. Just like, this card's not good. There aren't a lot of goblins. Open a goblin. Damn it. Okay, anyway. Oh. Okay. Usually I do that a lot smoother, but here we are, picking up all the extra random pieces of trash. Okay. We have a Molten Monstrosity. It's a lot of Molten Monstrosities, huh? Another Extinguish the Light. You're damn right. That card's great. Another Pixie Illusionist. A Clockwork Drawbridge. Vine Shaper Prodigy. Hammerhand. Argivian Cavalier. This is good for the aggro strategy. Scout the Wilderness is not bad for getting your third color or fourth color or fifth color for a domain. An Elfheim Worm. Some decent green. Inscribed Tablet. I am not a big fan of this card, but it's our first uncommon. Yavimaya Iconoclast is the second. And Tura Kennerud Sky Knight is the third. This does care about instants and sorceries, but if we're going to be in the blue-red spells deck, we're probably splashing black, not white, so this one probably doesn't make the cut. But, you know, never say never, I suppose. And our next rare or mythic is a Defiler of Flesh. Okay, we had maybe one of these in the last kit that we opened, and I say maybe because you should go watch that video, but also, spoilers, we opened a Defiler of Flesh. I don't know. If we're splashing black for spells in the blue-red spells deck, I don't think this gets in. Like, I just feel like it's not what we want. It's not good enough. Interesting. All right. Well, behind it, we have a foil. Obviously, as always, I want to know people's thoughts and opinions. But behind it, we have a foil, which is a foil Argivian Cavalier. That's sick in foil. Look at that armor on the horse, on her as well. My God, that is gorgeous. Very nice. And this card's great, by the way. I like this card a lot. Behind it, we have an island and a soldier token. We have one more pack to go. I genuinely don't know which way I would go yet. I think blue-red spells is calling out to me a little bit more than aggro, although we did just get the those 2 Cavaliers, which are very good in red-white aggro. So that's a little tougher for me, to be honest. A little tougher. But, you know, after this pack is done, leave it in the comments. What kind of a deck would you make and why? We have a Tattered Apparition to start, Tide Pool Turtle, Artillery Blast, Llanowar Stalker. Whoops. We have a Yavimaya Steel Crusher. It's a good one. Behind it, you saw a Bone Splinters. Not a bad card at all. Scout the Wilderness again. Another Contaminated Aquifer. That's 6 fixing lands so far. Lightning Strike. Very good card. And honestly, could go in either blue-red spells or aggro. But still, because it's just an amazing card in general. We have an Elvish Hydromancer as our first uncommon. Interesting. A Blight Pile as our second, also interesting. And a Nail Avizoa Aeronaut as the third, which means our last rare or mythic in this kit is a Llanowar Green Widow. So, I mean, doesn't really go with any other thing that we've like kind of been looking at for this deck. There's obviously Miria, but, you know, she cares about artifacts, and we don't really have any of those. This is a good card because Amy loves spiders, so I will be able to give this to my wife and look like a really great husband. And that is about the extent of why I like this card right now. In the format, the card is probably fine. I haven't actually gotten a chance to play it yet, but for this particular deck, it's not going to get there, so just FYI. Behind the Green Widow, no foil. Oh, we do have a foil, and it's very appropriate because we've opened many of them. It's a foil Scout the Wilderness. It's an interesting art. I mean, the figures in the front actually being foiled is always nice, but again, because the art is so dark in the background, it's like, yeah, I mean, I guess it looks pretty cool that they get to like stand out like that. I like that. Okay. The background leaves a lot to be desired, but I mean, typically I'm like sitting there like, well, the background's in foil, but that's the only part and it sucks. So the subjects of the art being in foil are always nice. And that is definitely what's happening here. So I appreciate it. Behind the Scout the Wilderness, we have a Swamp and another ad card. So, I mean, I don't honestly know what to leave you looking at. I'm not as excited by Miria, despite the fact that she's alt art, so I guess I'll just leave you looking at the Defiler of Instinct. Guess what, everybody? I really hope... Well, you should probably be able to see the whole card, huh? I really hope you all enjoyed this video. I would love, as I said, to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Please let me know what kind of a deck you would make. First of all, like I said, I think I would lean towards blue-red spells just because I feel like the Haughty Djinn, the Elder Dragon War, a lot of the spells that we had, plus being able to go into black with the Geothermal Bog and the double Contaminated Aquifer would help out a lot with using the 2... light cards. I can't think of their name, but the 4 mana removal spells, you know what I mean. Those are very good. And so yeah, I don't know. I would love to hear your thoughts, as always, down in the comments below for what you would make, because that's my own opinion. Maybe you think that this Defiler should still go into blue-red spells, and that's perfectly fair. Maybe you would play the Rundvelt Hordemaster. Maybe you'd play the Defiler of Flesh. I want to know all of your opinions down in the comments below. That's what it is for. Please don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell so that you can stay tuned for more of these videos to come in the coming weeks, as well as when we go live every Monday and Friday. You will get notifications for it at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Mondays, we play MTG Arena, so we would love to have you join us for that. And then Fridays, we play whatever video game we happen to be playing at the time. So definitely stay tuned to find out what is coming up in the future. Thank you so much for any and all support that you are willing to give. Besides subscribing and ringing the bell, obviously, please don't forget all that fun YouTube stuff. Likes and shares go a very, very long way, and we really appreciate it. So, for now, from us here at the Geek for All family of channels, I have been Joe, and as we always say, in whichever video of ours you watch next, we will see you all next time. Thanks, everybody.